Okay, well, hello, future. Lehman Bros is our co-host today because Tom Screen couldn't make it. Thank you for coming, Lance. I appreciate your co-hosting.
No problem. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Great.
Hello, everyone.
And Christian's with us, and I'm waiting for Shayne to come. It's just 2:00.
And Zenobia said she would try to join as well. Actually, I do see Zenobia in there, so she's available and would like to weigh in as well.
Oh, great. I'll add her now. And I see Punacha's here. Hello, Punacha. Nice to see you. Maybe we'll add you as a... How exciting. I'm very happy to see you, Zenobia. Thank you for coming.
Hello, hello. Thank you.
Thank you.
How's everyone doing?
Hello, Shayne.
Hello, how are you?
Great. Okay, so we have a really great discussion planned today. I'm very excited for everyone to come. Christian Hasker, as our community knows, is marketing with Hedera, and we're very excited to have him come on and tell us all the plans that Hedera has for 2022. It's very exciting that the year is ending and we get a fresh start. Shayne Higdon is the Executive Director and CEO of the HBAR Foundation. So we're very grateful that he had time today to come on to our Spaces Talk to speak with the community. And everyone knows Zenobia. We're very excited that she popped in, and we're grateful to have you with us. So, Christian, would you like to start with saying hello to the community? You haven't been on one of our spaces in a while, and everyone's very excited to hear from you.
Yes, I haven't spoken in a while, but I've been in the background for sure. I think you're doing a fantastic job with these, and it's great to see so many of the community listening in and getting a lot of information from these spaces. So happy to continue to support in any way we can. So this is the season, the festive season, but it is also always planning season, looking ahead to the following year in 2022. Actually, this coming Monday, Zenobia and I and the rest of the marketing team will be presenting our strategic plan and tactical plan to Nance and Lehman and other folks at Hedera, and beginning to do a deep dive into those plans. And then the process after that is, we make a budget ask as part of that plan, and then that goes before the council to get funded. There's always a little bit of negotiation that goes on back and forth. But what I will say generally is that our approach over the past couple of years since open access has really been to gain adoption of Hedera and the functionality that makes it unique in the market and prove it out with applications being built on the testnet and deployed to the mainnet. And then to work with those applications to develop a body of content where we can target other developers with those, with that content, that education, and create this virtuous cycle where developers that face a similar problem that has been solved by someone else on the network, they begin to gravitate to Hedera, and we make this virtuous cycle. So in 2020, the focus was really around the Hedera consensus service and all the amazing things that you can do with the Hedera consensus service. And if you go to hedera.com/users, you'll see a lot of those use cases. In 2021, we unveiled the Hedera token service, and we're beginning to see some great adoption of the Hedera token service. I mean, Elizabeth, you can't even keep up, I think, with the NFT projects on Hedera. You have different ones profiled every single week, and that ecosystem is growing tremendously. And we're so excited now that the HBAR Foundation is up and running to really foster that ecosystem as well. In 2022, the next service that we are bringing to market in conjunction with the Hedera token service is what we're calling the Smart Contract 2.0. And at that point, we have, as far as a network, Hedera will have the most robust functionality as far as the breadth of applications you can build on Hedera with Hedera Consensus Service, Smart Contract Service, and the Token Service. And, with all of the advantages that Hedera brings around sustainability, speed, fast finality, and low cost of transactions and predictable cost of transactions, all backed by this amazing governing council, which definitely boosts the trust in the network. So at that point, if you are a developer, either already entrenched in the Web3 world, so you're a smart contract developer already on another network, or if you are new to the Web3 world and you're looking to build your first application, in 2022, we want to make Hedera the home for every developer on the planet. So we have some very aggressive goals to, 20x the number of developers on the Hedera network. And I'm confident that we have the plans to do that. So up until now, 2021, I think the community has coined this term, all substance, no hype. And in 2022, we are going to hype the substance. We have amazing content, and now it's the time to really get as many eyeballs onto that content as possible. And so we're very excited for those plans. Once we get budget approval, by the way, I'll come back on and share probably our whole strategic plan with the community, maybe even post the presentation or do a YouTube presentation, because we also want you, the community, to have a lot of visibility into the plans and be able to augment them as you like, or do things that are complementary to. We want to be very transparent. So yes, we want to be very transparent around our plans and goals, and solicit as much help from the community as possible to augment and complement as necessary. Did we lose Elizabeth? Maybe.
But thank you, Christian. Really appreciate you giving us that background. Shayne, can we?
I think Lehman Bros is a great handle, by the way. So.
Yeah, it works. It'll get the job done. Thank you, Christian. Shayne, would you mind speaking to the HBAR Foundation and kind of how you are going to complement what Hedera is doing, and in what ways what your plans are for marketing might look different?
Yeah, so I think absolutely happy to do that. And I think they will look different, and where we can amplify messages that they have and are putting to the market, we certainly want to do. As we announced the foundation, and, a lot of the plumbing and things required to operate had not been put in place. So it's almost like the analogy is we jumped off a cliff and, kind of building the airplane on the way down. We got, as you guys saw the movement, we got, our tokens, just before Thanksgiving. And so, but we haven't stood still, even though I know that there is a feverish demand for what is the foundation going to do from a marketing perspective. And I've made public statements that marketing is going to be our number one priority. And I could just, share with you that is absolutely the case. And I'm hoping in the coming weeks to be able to share with you our strategic plan. We haven't even shared it yet with the council. And so that's kind of the first step. We just want to make sure that we are, able to kind of share the structure, et cetera. But I'll highlight some three key areas, goals and initiatives that we have at the foundation, and I'll bring them back more specifically to some of the things I think you're probably interested in. One is to grow awareness, right? So what I was saying was the focus, for what we're trying to do. We've really mapped out a strategic plan, and we're being very methodical on what we're doing. And specifically, I know that there's this feverish demand and pent-up demand, candidly, for, shouting things from the rooftop that Hedera and, the HBAR Foundation are doing. And we certainly are going to do that. But in order to do that in a concerted way, in something that scales and that, allows for you to capture, you being, all of us on this call, to capture our share of voice in the market, it takes a lot of work behind the scenes. And so that is happening today. But we needed some guiding principles. You guys saw me talk about our North Star, just to reiterate, because this is what is driving the activities that I'll kind of share a little bit more about. One is, as a goal, we have to grow the awareness of the HBAR economy. So we've got funds set aside for marketing as well as brand engagement. I'll explain what I mean by those things. Accelerating access to the economy. So we're building an accelerator program and some other key things that I think are going to be pretty exciting. And then increasing commerce, focusing on, areas like payments and sustainability. But I think one of the most interesting parts that, as I listened and, I've had questions, people privately DMing me on Twitter, which is, when you look at brands out there like FTX or Solana or others, Crypto.com, renaming the Staples Center, I don't think you can expect the HBAR Foundation to do a deal like that. But I do think that there is appetite, and certainly we're going to be pretty thoughtful around what is this, consumer engagement, brand engagement. What does that really mean? Because there are a lot of, markets, collectibles and NFTs, sports, music, gaming, loyalty points, ticketing. This is a significant market, $100+ billion in size. And, we've got real deals that we are actively working right now in all of those things, in all of those areas. And looking at how do we do a potential brand partnership that elevates the brand of the HBAR Foundation and Hedera. I mean, thinking through things, and we haven't even discussed this with Christian, powered by Hedera, sponsored by the HBAR Foundation, right? Where there are huge opportunities that we've got to continue to look at to raise the awareness of what we're doing and be able to capitalize and capture the attention of the retail investor. As things continue to change and shift, in the market, there are people, like I said, in our mission, we are really trying to capture the attention of that builder, creator, innovator, dreamer, et cetera. And that's where we're partnering with, Christian and team to do that. They're going after those guys that are builders, dreamers, right? To make sure that they understand the technical capabilities of the platform and what's required to build on top of it. Gaming is a big area of investment right now in blockchain and DLT, and we are certainly a part of that and going to be a bigger part of that. New, technologies and advancements around loyalty points and all of, ticketing are emerging as it stands today. So there's massive opportunities for us to elevate the awareness. Again, our first goal, the awareness of who we are. And so to that end, we have not made a formal announcement, but I will, though he's not on this call, I will announce we hired a gentleman by the name of David Kramer, who is our COO, who most recently was the COO at a virtual reality company called Next VR that was ultimately acquired by Apple. And as a result of that, that was a hardware platform. It leveraged, virtual reality goggles like Oculus Rift and others, but they had built a platform where if you were at a concert and you bought a virtual reality ticket to your favorite concert, it was as if you were either on stage or front row. Basketball, it would be like you were sitting courtside at a Lakers game or a Nets game, or name your basketball team. This gentleman was responsible for negotiating deals with Major League Baseball, the NFL, Live Nation, Facebook, etc. So he's got experience coming in doing brand related deals. And so while, we're looking at what does that mean for us to shepherd this evolution of new ways of buying tickets, transferring tickets, creating loyalty points for fan engagement. What does it mean in terms of media and music? And the intersection of all of this is really, really interesting. And we have the opportunity to play in it, and we are playing in it. We just haven't been able to announce some of the things that we're doing publicly. And so with that being said, I think it's an exciting time. I think you're going to see, as we plan, and I've said it, publicly as well, Q1 first half of this next year, you're going to start seeing the fruits of our labor. I know everyone is waiting with bated breath, but we feel like we've put the solid plan in place. We're not just throwing spaghetti against the wall and, doing some ad campaign and saying, isn't that enough? We want this to be a sustainable drumbeat to truly create a brand, not just to do a specific campaign that lasts for a month and then, people forget about you. We want this to be a constant drumbeat. So we're pretty excited about it. And, I look forward to being able to share more details.
Absolutely. That sounds amazing that you have a COO on board. That's very exciting. And just so you know, our community is always very involved in everything. But your foundation, you've only been doing the foundation for what, 8-10 weeks? Is that
so we announced it September, I think it was like September 16th, if I recall. I mean, Christian would know better. It was at the second anniversary of Open Access, where it was announced.
Yep, September 16th.
Okay, and so from that point forward, in earnest, we were starting to try to hire, bring people on board, et cetera. So like I said, the best analogy is September 16th, we jumped off a cliff, made everybody aware we were doing this, but we weren't at a point of full execution yet. And so we're getting there, and we continue to hire, bring people on board, and the right talent. We're trying to be very prescriptive in doing that, and so we're pretty excited about where we are. We still have, we've partnered with a firm, from a marketing perspective, that is bringing a massive amount of resources to us, while at the same time helping us recruit. As you guys likely know or don't know, we have not hired our head of marketing yet. It's challenging to find someone steeped in this market, in crypto, but also has key capabilities of community development, social media strategy, along with brand strategy, all in one. And so I'm being very selective at this point, because I think that's an incredibly key hire for us.
It is it's a very key hire, and it must be very challenging to put together an organization from scratch, and also have such a community involvement, and wishing you such good wishes always. And I just have such a vision for 2020 for Hedera that's going to rock the world, because I love what you said, Christian, about your strategy in year 1 and year 2 and year 3, and that goes along with the Hedera strategy of building a 100-year-old company. But Zenobia, I'm so happy that you could join us on our spaces. And would you like to add to the conversation?
Sure. Thank you, Elizabeth. And, I am here. I know we have had a number of questions from the community. So in terms of the plan, PR rolls up into the broader plan that Christian had talked about. Our goals for 2022, we have talked a lot about how the media landscape is shifting. And for those of you in PR, this might be old hat, but for everyone else, I'll just share for a minute. Earlier, we've seen a trend of companies trying to do more owned content. And, I think security companies were a great first example of that. They started hiring on board editors, writers who had previously been on the journalism side, because there was just so much to explain in that space. In 2021, you saw a lot of companies in the crypto space, and even in the broader tech space, sort of make these same claims and these same statements that, look, there's not enough neutral coverage, or, there's not enough media out there who are covering these technologies in the way that we would like them to be done. So even, for example, Coinbase has started up their own editorial arm, because they feel like Coinbase doesn't get a fair shake in the world and doesn't get the editorial coverage that they would like to have. A16Z, which is a big, a big VC firm in the crypto space, has also said, we don't get the right kind of coverage for our portfolio companies. Now, that is not media's job to sort of dote on these companies, and it's not media's job to give PR time and editorial coverage to every single product announcement and customer announcement. There's just so much of it happening. And, media organizations are still relatively understaffed compared to what's happened on the ecosystem side in terms of the number of companies, the amount of funding, all those kinds of things. So we are seeing, companies say, I'm going to build out my own editorial function. Now, you can say, gosh, that seems like just a blog. You guys already have a blog. Great. But we're starting to see that be a little bit more important, and we're starting to think about different ways that can happen. So I think you will see us doing that, as well as other companies, in response to just what's happened in the media space. If you look at the number of reporters compared to the number of companies versus, even a couple years ago, but further on, if you look back at that trend over the last 10 to 15 years, that media landscape has shrunk significantly. So our job is, to present valuable content that is not only about Hedera and about Hedera's successes, but also that educates the market. And I think you're going to see us focus more on that, as you will see some of the other big players do similarly in 2022.
Gee, that sounds like a massive undertaking, Zenobia.
It is. I've asked Christian for a lot of budget. That's why he has those HBAR eyes there.
Give her some help, Christian. If she's going to do anything like that, that's like massive. And
an investment in Zenobia is a good investment. So we're going to see what we can do for sure.
To take that further, that's a new way of dealing with public relations. That is it because the crypto space just moves so fast?
It is. And I think, like I said, so we have some experience dealing with it from the information security side. I think they really kind of defined that model, and they've probably been doing it for, the earliest people started to do it like a decade ago, but more so in the last 5 years. When you talk to media, the number of times, I have an ongoing list of the number of corrections and the number of times that we have talked to the same reporter and told them the same things, and they still don't remember it. And part of that is, some people are not paying attention, but part of it is also that if you look at the amount of funding in the space, the number of companies in the space, what they have had to cover in terms of their purview, right? You are a reporter who you used to get 200 or 300 pitches a day. Now you're getting 1,500 email pitches a day. How do you go through and decipher that? And how do you really get smart on all those different technologies? When we are saying, hey, we're different because of this. Well, how do I have the time to go and figure out, is this company's claim really true? Can I go research it against everything else that is in the space to be able to make that claim? Can I go compare it to, what these other projects were doing 6 months ago? Is that even valid? Do I have to compare it to what they're doing today, which means I have to do a whole other set of research? So their job has become very, very hard. You're seeing them. If you look at, the articles that, for example, CoinDesk puts out today, we're always very appreciative of CoinDesk's coverage, but you see that the length of those articles has shrunk from, 6 paragraphs, details, a lot of third parties to, hey, here's the facts, ma'am, right? Like just a couple paragraphs. And for us, while that's valuable to get in front of CoinDesk's audience, we also, because we are so different, because we have detailed use cases, because we have so much going on, we're finding it much more valuable to be able to explain those things in a little bit longer format, and also, quite frankly, different formats, whether that's video, audio, like what you guys are doing here, other kinds of formats that we we are asking for the resources to do because other people don't have the time and resources to do.
That's amazing. Well, that's just amazing to hear. You all sound like you're really getting ready for a kickstart in 2022, which is so exciting. Christian, I also wanted to ask, just on behalf of the community, like with regard to doing marketing that helps the retail side of things, are you reaching out to a bunch, and even you, Shayne, that was one of the questions the community had also, about retail developers and as opposed to like large entities that you have been working with for a while?
So I'll take the where Hedera's focus is. Our primary target audience is on that technical individual. So I see we have Jim Nasser on the call here. So, we actually have slides when we think about target audience with Jim and Ben on those slides with their profiles. We want to go find tens of thousands more Jims and Bens because they are looking to disrupt an existing market. They have deep domain expertise in those markets, and we're building a network that should make their lives as easy as possible, right? We are infrastructure at the end of the day, under the covers, and we want to make it as easy as possible to build on Hedera, and for those amazing CTOs and developers to build the next great thing. When we talk about the importance of smart contract service, that's kind of the missing piece for truly decentralized applications that can have on-chain programmability. So, very excited to go target, tens of thousands of developers with that message. As far as the retail audience, like pure retail.
May I interrupt you, Christian?
Sure. Go ahead.
Shayne, he's gone. Shayne had himself double booked, so he wanted to say
goodbye, no worries.
But he had to go. So,
well, I was just about to say, maybe I'll say it in his absence. Today, if you are a retail holder of HBARs, which, I imagine a lot of us on this call are, and we're not developers, what can you do with your HBARs today? Hedera has not rolled out staking. There are not a lot of DeFi protocols built on Hedera yet. There's no way you can go and get yield on your HBARs. That is the type of message and marketing that retail wants and responds to positively. And I am very confident that, some of the things Shayne and team are doing, laying the groundwork as he talked about, will lead to that type of marketing in 2022 as well. As well as staking rolling out for Hedera itself at the network level and rolling out community nodes. With those two things, you start to have an appealing message for retail investors. You all are incredible visionaries in this space because you are not chasing the meme coins with very short-term upside. You're really invested in a project that, as you said, Elizabeth, is being built for the long haul. And you're at the cutting edge of this. And, my sense is that your patience is going to be rewarded in 2022 with a lot of programs that we'll see being rolled out in the market. Then we'll see other retail investors start to, flock to Hedera as well.
Oh, thank you for that, because a lot of our community is what would be called retail developers in kind of a small nascent team sense. But I do want to welcome Jim Nasser onto the call. And Jim, would you like to contribute to the conversation?
Yes. Hey, Elizabeth. Hello, everyone. Christian, thank you for kind
Are you going to
comments.
charge me because I use your likeness on slides? So I don't think you created it as an NFT, but we can talk.
We can talk. Let's count our chickens when they hatch, I guess. As I think Christian mentioned, we think very, very kind of long and with a lot of substance about Hedera. So it's great to hear, great to hear the plans, great to hear the additional, if you like, kind of motivations with the HBAR Foundation and getting the word out. Because it's funny. I mean, I'm sure like the rest of us, I look at the full space. We come across all kinds of clients, and you invariably look at what's going on with other protocols, and from my personal research, for what it's worth, there's a huge amount of noise and not necessarily nearly that much substance with some of the other protocols. And I think we're like the exact opposite. So in that sense, I think we're in a good place, right? I think we're in a good place because we're actually building things. From my perspective, the work we're doing, I think a lot of our thinking, and Christian kind of intimated this, is really like a multiplier. Question is, what can we build that has resonance beyond just one specific project, or maybe becomes like some kind of a utility that other people can use. That's really the way we think about most of our work. Did I lose you guys? Maybe I did.
No.
Nope, we can hear you.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's really, and it's great to hear that. Obviously, we're not the only ones thinking this way. That I think in order for the Hedera community to grow, we really have endless use cases, but we can't build endless point-to-point solutions. I think we have to kind of think a little bit more strategically. Some people need to be like in my, I guess, simple-mindedness, gear builders, and I kind of think of us as gear builders, and some of you guys as watch builders, because we can't afford to, nor does it make sense for every single machine builder to build all of the components that go into it. So that's where we look at it, and I'm really glad to see that the community, including Hedera itself and HBAR Foundation, are really kind of gravitating towards this and making it happen.
Well, anything we can do to help Hedera, Zenobia, and Christian, all you have to do is ask us, and we'll do whatever we can to assist you in any way the community can. Okay.
I think that's probably one of the things that we see. I'm sure this community also sees it, but as these projects grow, there is people are hiring like crazy. So I would just encourage everyone to share with your networks. Probably more people than you think you know. You also know smart people who, even if they aren't part of the Hedera community yet, can quickly get onboarded and bring their great experience in other types of software and other applications to bear. So that's one thing I can think of.
Oh, thank you, Zenobia. Yeah, it's true that when someone does offer, for help or has a position that needs to be open, the community does get notice of that, and we're really grateful to be able to assist in any way we can with that. I wanted to ask HGraph Punks, who had something to say about to the community. Go ahead, Patches.
Hey, thank you. I apologize for being late. Ironically, I was onboarding a new developer who never heard about Hedera, but is extremely talented, and kind of just the manifestation of what you just said, Zenobia, where they are very intrigued by what Hedera is doing, and it's going to greatly help Turtle Moon, so the company behind HGraph Punks, just kind of keep building these tools for the community so we can make everyone kind of prosper. I do have, and I apologize again because I was late to the call. I do have a question, just kind of in broad generalization, and I feel like you might have touched this, but if there is a community member or an NFT project that would like to get any official Hedera support for such an event or a release or something, is there a preferred method or ability for them to kind of go through a form process or an email process to easily kind kind of get that in front of your team. And I know, you probably get 1,500 a day, but specifically for the NFT community and how to just get that official stamp of approval from Hedera and that giant megaphone you guys have for an ability to help just projects grow.
We do not have an official form, but you can email me or Zenobia directly, just christian@hedera.com. I am so behind on email, DMs, and I try and clear it out every weekend. So if I don't get straight back to you, apologies, but I will get back to you. We're always willing to help out project building on Hedera, and just love meeting people and talking about learning what you're up to and how we can be of help. So please reach out. Nothing official as far as a form to fill, just relationship building, and we're more than willing to hop on a call. We do this, like you said, many times a day throughout the week, talking with different projects, and we love it.
And if it's something, simple in terms of a social share or something like that, you also know where to find us on Twitter and our other channels. And, we have some guidelines from legal in terms of what things we can promote through the official Hedera channels, but there's also things that we can certainly promote individually, which get picked up by broader, community, et cetera.
Awesome. I might, and I apologize for doing this in public, but a shameless plug of the Hedera community holiday party that just that tweet was pinned up. Would it be possible to get official Hedera to retweet or promote that, since it does have the involvement of the Hedera network?
Yeah, you know what I'm actually going to do? I am going to see if, as you guys know, Lehman is with Max most of the day today. Lehman and Mance are with Max from the community. He's there in person. But let me see if I can get Lehman to tweet.
Oh my goodness, Lehman.
Lehman's like, I am not on Twitter, but every once in a while he'll pop on.
That would be amazing. Lehman...
Now the other Lehman, please don't confuse him. If
that would be what a good time that would be. Well, we look forward to having the community party next week, and we're having live music, and the NFT auction. Patches is doing a great job, and Baptista of Exact Wallet is hosting the NFT auction, and all the community members are involved in the NFT submissions, and we're really excited about it. It's kind of a big project to do and not very much time, and I'm finding out that it's very difficult to give charities HBARs. So that's something where if we could only get on Gemini Exchange, it would be much easier. But we'll try to figure something out about that.
So
see Manon is on this call. He's been tremendously helpful in that regard. So thank you very much, Manon. I appreciate it, and maybe you can help out Elizabeth if she needs it too.
That would be great. I'll reach out to him. And you were going to say, Zenobia?
And we will hopefully be sharing some things soon in terms of how we've been working with some of these folks. It sounds like, Manon, you can also share similar. But I know some of our developers have also been in conversations with some charities around how they can accept HBARs.
Oh, that would be lovely to hear. Absolutely lovely to hear. So I wanted to just ask Charles. Thank you, Charles, first of all, for putting up those tweets above the space. It's you're an expert at that.
Don't have anything super special to say. Just wanted to thank Patches and you about stuff going on. I know price is a big deal, and we got a lot of community outcry. But yeah, guys, these guys are working real hard, and thank you.
They sure are. Well, I'm going to take a couple of community members, and they can ask a question. Brandon is a active community member, and see what you have to ask, Brandon. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I didn't have too much to say. I just wanted to express my gratitude to the HBAR Foundation and Hedera and just all the incredible things that are happening in the startup space, the NFT space, and also just all the exciting enterprise things, bank remittance, all those things. It's just absolutely incredible. And I think it's worth a reminder that we are in the good old days right now. Very special time.
Couldn't agree more.
Brandon, that's so nice of you. Lehman Bros, you had something to add?
Yeah, hey, this is Lance. Just had a question for Christian, and it's going to be going all the way back to before this call crashed. You talked about kind of the different services offered on the protocol, and 2020 was kind of the year of HCS, and this past year has been HTS. And as you're looking ahead to next year and what you're going to be marketing from a service or capability, that it's going to be those smart contracts 2.0. And I know that was announced back, I think, when the HBAR Foundation was announced on 9/16. And I know there was talk that, it was an EVM that we have that does a throughput of 10, and we're going to a Hyperledger EVM that does a throughput of 100. Wondering, as you're marketing that change to those technical folks that are kind of your strategic audience, the gyms of the world, wondering, with that change, how that's kind of changed the conversation, what types of questions you're getting. And I know maybe builders can migrate, from Ethereum or other networks, the smart contracts they have directly to Hedera. But I also know that with our native services, a lot of the things that happen within a smart contract on other protocols don't need a smart contract with Hedera. So I'm kind of wondering what types of questions you have from them about building with us, about taking, maybe all of what's happening in a smart contract and moving it into like a combination of some HCS, some HTS, some leverage of smart contracts, and really how that goes as you market to the gyms of the world.
Yeah, no, that is a great question. So the pure speed of the new smart contract service, as you said, going from 10 to hundreds, it's cool, but it's not actually that killer feature. I think what is much more exciting around this is some of the stuff that we almost take for granted, and that is the low cost of transactions. So once you have scalable smart contracts that are easy to use and integrated with Hedera token service, things that you're seeing on other networks, such as a DeFi protocol or a DEX, become very easy to do on Hedera in combination with Hedera token service. So once you mint your token, those transactions happen, at 10,000 transactions per second. So you can have this very high throughput DEX, but then you only need to call the smart contract for programmability, periodically. And so I think that's going to lead to, sure, having existing smart contracts on other platforms ported over to Hedera. But my guess is we're actually going to see new types of things that people just aren't doing on other networks because of this powerful combination of the two services together. And that's really exciting. You heard Shayne talk about gaming. Well, if you had an in-game token that had programmability in the game, in the smart contract, you can exchange that token very, very rapidly and then call that programmable logic periodically. So who knows what people will build, but our job is to sort of paint this art of the possible. And the fact is, Ethereum is the main game in town when it comes to smart contracts. Other networks are making a noise, but that is where the developer community is, and it's where the liquidity is. But it is just cost prohibitive and just takes such a long time. So evangelizing the capabilities of Hedera, we should make Hedera a very attractive destination for those developers.
I have
Thank you so much. I wanted to let May Tang from HashPack. She's the CEO and co-founder of HashPack. Hello, May. How are you?
Who is doing an amazing job with HashPack, by the way.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It is fantastic.
Thank you so much. This is actually like right in our wheelhouse, so I thought I would pipe in. Hedera has reached out to us, and we're in conversations with Hedera right now, where we are building in the Hash Connect, which is our signing solution that will allow you to do things like sign for your transactions on a DEX or on an NFT platform, just like you would with MetaMask on Ethereum. And we're building that out right now. We've been hyping it up a bit, and we're just about ready for alpha. And we have developers waiting in our channel who are just ready to try it out. So that's coming out real soon. And I just wanted to pipe in that Hedera is super keen on smart contract functionality as well. And I was in a conversation last week where we were laying out the plans and making sure that the stuff that we build for Hash Connect will have smart contract compatibility, and that everything is going to be kind of hopefully put in place so that all of these projects that we're hoping are gearing up to use the new smart contracts 2.0 will have a wallet and a transaction library that is easy to implement and just lets everybody start jumping in on the space.
A little bit back to what Jim was talking about, building different gears that others can use then.
Exactly.
Well,
awesome.
You're doing amazing work, May, and we're really grateful that you're building it on Hedera. It's such a great company.
Thanks so much. That's all I had to say.
Oh, thank you. That was a lot. I appreciate you coming on. And we look forward to all your progress because you're doing some great things. A developer advocate for Hedera, Greg, would you like to comment?
Yeah, hi. Just wanted to, and thanks for organizing this as usual. Just wanted to add to Christian's comment on smart contracts and other services. What I found is that as a DA talking to many projects, I'm able to say yes a lot more thanks to smart contracts coming online. But we still have to educate to a certain extent the existing community of blockchain developers or DLT developers who, for example, if you take Jim's use case, which is notarizing data, as are many other use cases, the only way to do this on other networks is through smart contracts. And a lot of developers come to Hedera saying, you know, I'd like to build a smart contract that can do this. And we're having to show them a different way to do things that enables them to scale or to do the same thing, you know, way cheaper. So we have with Hedera way more tools than just smart contracts moving forwards. And I think developers need to appreciate that with the token service, the consensus service, and the smart contract service, with a much bigger toolbox that's not just one hammer that makes everything look like a nail, which is what smart contracts are to most other platforms. And maybe to highlight another thing that was mentioned about the different types of developers. One of the things I hear a lot is, and Hedera is for enterprises, and I think I'd like to prefer to say we're enterprise grade, meaning that you can buy a military grade watch that is bomb-proof, shock-proof, waterproof, and everything, but you don't have to be a Marine to wear one or to buy one. You can be a man in the street, a woman in the street, wearing a military grade watch, and by the same token, any developer, large, small, medium, can develop on Hedera, but benefit from the military gradeness or the enterprise gradeness of Hedera without the military grade costs. It's still a lot cheaper than a military grade watch. So if that's a message you can help, push around, we're enterprise grade, but we're for everyone.
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. And that's going to be in my vocabulary from now until forever. Enterprise grade. I absolutely adore that because that's so inclusive with the entire community, whether they're retail or whether they're Fortune 1000 companies. So thank you so much for that. That's a great verbiage to go forward with. I'd like to also welcome one of our community members, HBAR Marie, who is doing an awesome NFT project. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. My question might be a little bit more for Greg, but also in the smart contracts realm. I'm very curious with the smart contracts 2.0. I know there's a lot of existing companies on the Ethereum side that do build out dexes and staking protocols and coins and all kinds of stuff like that. And it is a sold as like a service that they'll build them for you. Is that something that would be possible? Let's say if you were to hire that company, are they going to be able to use the Solidity contracts directly with Hedera, making it also very usable for existing companies to jump on board?
Yeah, I mean, from a Solidity point of view, we're no different to Ethereum or other EVM-based smart contract solutions. We use the Hyperledger Besu EVM, which is compatible with Ethereum, and you can run an Ethereum client today called Besu and link it into the mainnet and execute their smart contracts. So the code should be portable. There are a few things that we've yet to fully implement. I won't get into the detail here, but this will be clear when we launch, or even before. So yes, if you're an existing Solidity organization or development company, you should be able to deploy your smart contracts on Hedera. The only difference is the level of the integration. We don't have the same APIs as Ethereum, so there's a bit of adaptation to be done there from a user interface point of view. But we're working hard to make this as seamless and as easy as possible.
Thank you so much. We're only about 5 or 10 minutes until the top of the hour, well, less than that. But HGraph Punks, you had a comment to make quickly?
Yeah, love getting some FaceTime with Greg, just the mastermind of the token service and everything. With the talk about smart contracts and looking at how that makes us enticing for other networks such as Ethereum, most of my conversations with other network NFTs are, what's our RPC protocol on the network, and what is the timeline to having a standardized thing like Wallet Connect to allow wallets to use the same protocol? I know Exact has, I think, created their own, which is amazing. I love working with it. But do you have any insight on kind of that initiative?
So, I mean, out of the box, we want to have an RPC compatible API that is like for like with Ethereum. It's something that we're looking into, but not something that I believe we've committed to yet. So we're having to ask, the likes of Exact, the likes of Hashpack to build Hedera-friendly browser extensions. Now, that said, we are speaking to just about every player in this ecosystem, and you would be surprised how hard it is to break through the existing ecosystem and get them to build on Hedera. For various reasons, whether it's where the funding comes from. Some are very heavily funded by the Ethereum Foundation, so they tend to have a kind of a single North Star, which is make it work on Ethereum. Others may be heavily invested in Ethereum and don't necessarily want to help a competing network succeed. So, right now we're sort of doing our own thing. And maybe as we get traction in DeFi and other verticals, then those other application layers will start to converge towards Hedera. But at the moment, we're having to blaze our own path. And like I said, we are trying our hardest to make it as easy as possible for developers to migrate. We're taking existing projects and migrating them to Hedera as a test case. And learning from that experience and building that back into our developer experience.
Thank you so much, Greg. That's really great information. I just wanted to give Christian and Zenobia, we're at the top of the hour, so if you'd like to say some final words, that would be awesome. Christian?
I'll just say thank you for everyone for joining, and I'll see you at the holiday party next week, and really looking forward to that. And thank you so much for organizing.
Yes, thank you guys for all that you do. We really appreciate it. I will not be on next week, but happy holidays. Everyone stay safe and healthy, and here's looking forward to 2022.
Woohoo! Thank you, Zenobia. I do have one note of spaces tomorrow with Punacha of Metasiva. We're going to do a thrown together space tomorrow at noon on Hello Future Buzz. So come and see about that new marketplace. And Siva means Sanskrit selfless giving. And that's certainly timely in this time of the year. So I want to thank everyone for coming. And Jim, HGraph Punks, Lehman, Zenobia, Christian, and Shayne, and everyone else who participated. So thank you so much for coming. And we'll do this again next week at the party. So get your wallets open because you're going to have to bid on some NFTs.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.